Good morning, everyone. I'm Julie Martin. Thanks for joining us here on Weather Center Live. I'll be with you for the next couple of hours as we're already tracking some severe weather in South. And we do have a tornado watch in place here in southeastern Texas. It's going until 1 o'clock Central Time. But again, already seeing some of those severe weather reports starting to pop up just south of Houston. Houston, for you, it should be arriving on your doorstep within the next 30 minutes or so. But already just south and southwest of Houston, seeing radar indicated reports of tornadoes. Tornado warnings here for Austin, Fort Bend, and Wharton counties. This until 8:15. These storms are pushing off to the east northeast, anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour, just really getting ready to hug the Texas coast. If we track this one out in particular, though, near Rosenberg, you'll see it arriving here in new territory around 8:20 this morning. For you in Missouri City, that's 8:36, 8:50 arrival for you in Houston. So heads up if you are either along or in front of this line of thunderstorms. Very powerful line, already seeing it producing a lot of lightning, of course, that blinding rain as well. This warning a little further south here for Brazoria, Fort Bend, and Wharton counties. This one going until 8:45. And there you see that strong line really starting to push in eastward here. And what we're seeing here is the potential for spin-ups, which are very hard to indicate on radar. So again, even if we don't see tornadoes with this line, we will still likely see damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. So that's enough to bring down trees, knock out power, and certainly cause damage. This tornado warning here, this last one here, closer to the coast for Aransas, Calhoun, and Refugio counties. This one until 8:15. Again, pushing east-northeast, about to make its contact here with the coast. But if you live in any of these areas, very important that you have a plan in place right now. Take shelter if possible. Again, a tornado warning. We have 3 at the moment here in southeastern Texas. And it's really just the beginning of a long day of severe weather. We have torcons indicated here of 3 as we move throughout the day as the storms cross over the border here into Louisiana, moving into far eastern Texas. We'll see that storm system push eastward throughout the day into the overnight hours here as well throughout southern Louisiana. Eventually, by tomorrow, making its way, if it holds together, into the Florida Panhandle. Now, it's looking like this will lose some of its punch as we get into the evening hours tonight, but certainly throughout the day today, we want you to be aware of this severe weather outbreak as all of the ingredients are really in place. We've got that warm, moist air in place, a lot of instability as well. So anywhere from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, by the time we get into the overnight hours, certainly the possibility exists for severe weather. Strong thunderstorms, lightning, maybe some hail, and damaging winds. Can't rule out the possibility of tornadoes. Again, a torcon of 3. What that means, about a 30% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius here in southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, even into Florida as we get into tonight, overnight into the early morning hours. Again, I think some of that instability is going to weaken a bit as we move throughout the evening hours, but certainly throughout the day today, we're still dealing with those strong storms in Texas right now. 3 tornado warnings just southwest of Houston. Houston, for you, the arrival looks like it will be about 30 minutes. Here's a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Then, as I mentioned, all those storms moving back into to Florida. But let's take you back to the live radar right now. Here you see, here's Houston. Here's that line right on your doorsteps, just to the west of you. Very strong line of storms. Again, a lot of lightning associated with this, strong winds, and already reports of radar indicated tornadoes, maybe some spin ups in these tornado warnings just to the south and southwest of Houston. Brazoria, Fort Bend, and Wharton. This goes for you. That includes Missouri City until 8:45. Here you see it really showing up, just lighting up the radar as it pushes east-northeast. These storms moving at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Again, radar indicated tornadoes with these. And here's a look at Houston. So right now the storm's just approaching Katy right along I-10. This is not going to be a fun drive if you're out this morning trying to get into work. We're looking at this impacting the I-45 corridor as well, all the way in through Houston. Timing this out for you, Houston, the city, looking at 8:45 for your arrival local time. So we don't have a whole lot of time. My advice, if you don't have to get out and get on the roads right now, maybe try to call in to work, that would be a good idea, because these are not going to be any kind of conditions you want to be driving in this morning as you're making your way out the door. All right. Back to the radar now. I'm hearing now we have Kelly Williamson, our
down where Kelly is. There's multiple places where there could be little spin ups, and that's part of the challenge.
Sure, and it's very difficult to see on the radar. So really, you know, the kind of the takeaway here is it doesn't really matter if you have a tornado, because this storm is packing winds that could still cause a lot of damage and certainly knock you right off the road.
The winds could be in excess of 60 miles per hour easily. And also the concern, as you mentioned, with that very heavy rain, very tough for driving. So if at all possible, avoid going out during this storm. You know, we tracked this line where Kelly is and down through Port Lavaca, right around the Sea Drift area, was watching that there may be some rotation there. But again, it's all Doppler radar indicated. We haven't had any ground confirmation just yet of a tornado.
He mentioned the lightning with this as well, becoming a real issue, and flooding. We've got this storm now moving right toward Houston, obviously a hugely populated area.
We should extend up the radar too, because this line of thunderstorms we've been tracking right through the morning, and we can see just how broad the line is, or how long the line is. A closer view now into to the Port Lavaca area and just south of there, where very heavy rain is coming down.
Right, and you know, when we do look at the bigger picture and just how big
this line of thunderstorms tracking in, it's fairly narrow in terms of how far the extent across is in terms of width. Behind it, we still have some rain, but this line brings it all. It brings the risk for some strong winds. It brings the risk for these spin-ups like we're seeing right now just to the east of the Sugar Land area, heading towards the south of Houston, and then also brings the threat for very heavy rain and lightning.
Yeah, so far we've seen the worst weather just a little south of Houston, where we had that reported and confirmed tornado on the ground, and then farther down to the south as well. But certainly anywhere along this line is where we're looking at the danger of a tornado popping up, and certainly damaging winds.
Yeah, right now we've got that severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for the entire metro area. The tornado warning in effect for just in town and south of town. So Houston, Pearland, Sugar Land, all cities within it. And I want to show you on the radar, just heading right through the Missouri City area, or just to the north of that actually, is where we're tracking the circulation right now. And certainly that it makes a difference. It's not the entire area. Sugar Land, you're almost getting out of it where the circulation is. This storm is moving to the east northeast at about 30 miles per hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, right on the doorsteps for you in Houston. If you're traveling along I-10 right now, it's going to be really rough.
So here's the circulation in here, and then again, this is moving like this. So you can see where the trajectory is, right, pointing right at the southwestern Houston suburbs.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, there we go. This includes Galveston as well, Galveston counties. Yeah, Santa Fe. This one until 9:15. So this is the south end of that line that's going to be pushing through.
All right, so again, this whole line of thunderstorms that really stretches from Huntsville, Texas, right back down here to not too far from Port Lavaca right now. Along that line, the potential for strong damaging winds. Within the line, there's going to be these spin-ups that we watch with potential rotation, and so that's what we've been seeing. This one, the Missouri City area one, is stretching. That one is right here. This one moving right into the south side of the Houston metro area. And then we've got several other areas that we're watching along this line.
Absolutely.
Thanks for erasing that. This one here near the Sweeney area. Another Doppler radar indicated rotation right here. You've got the winds going away and towards the radar site. So as this moves over to the north and east, there is the potential for it to drop a tornado. Right now it is Doppler radar indicated rotation.
And you brought up a good point. These are going to be very tough to see. Look at the picture in Houston right now. You really can't see anything out there. Very different situation in this part of the country when it comes to tornadoes developing.
So Mark's had a chance to look at some of these warnings that have come out. Mark, what are you seeing as you look